The history of the Schomburg Center is very much the history of Harlem. When we talk about the Harlem Renaissance, Arturo Schomburg and his collection were a major part of that. And Harlem has been called the Mecca of black culture, certainly African American culture, and it still is that today, and there are parts of the center that really reflect that. We're in the main wing of the Schomburg Center in the Latimer Edison Gallery, and here is an exhibition called Been Seen, and it's the work of Austin Hanson, who was known as Harlem's photographer. And what's really special about this collection is that it's the work of Austin Hanson in conversation with the work of 7 artists who are actually still with us. That's one of the things about having an archive. It's not that we're just showing history or we're teaching people what was before. We want people to create new art and actually let it be in conversation. You actually see that in this exhibition. So one of my favorite did you know facts about the Schomburg Center, did you know that the ashes of Langston Hughes are actually interred here at the Schomburg Center? The artwork that holds Langston's ashes is actually called Rivers, and it's a tribute to Langston Hughes, and Rivers is an homage to Langston's first published poem, The Negro Speaks of Rivers. And as poems go, it is probably still one of the greatest poems ever written. It is short, it is tight, it actually speaks to something that is personal for African Americans, but for people whose people and generations have actually traveled. This is a permanent part of the Schomburg Center, and the focal point of Rivers is this thing called the cosmogram. So many people call it the cosmogram. It is a cosmogram, but for folks in Harlem, it is the cosmogram, and underneath the center are Langston Hughes' ashes. Wow, the exhibitions that I'm most proud of. So for 10 years, the Schomburg Center was doing a Black comic book festival. We were really trying to make the point that the comic book creation, the world of animation, was something that Black artists had been using for decades. There are archival comic books and graphic novels that are part of the collection, and this was a way of actually showing it off. There's this large legacy series that you see of, literally it tells the story of Black history, African American history in this country. The exhibition that we have, Boundless, actually again is this call and response you see between archival and the work of new creators. When we do our Black Comic Book Festival, there are lots of discussions on the stage, there are animators, but we also do workshops for children. And one of the things we've always done is ask youngsters to draw a superhero or teach them how to draw a superhero that perhaps reflects who they are. And it's always a wonderful thing when you get young people to see superhero images like themselves, so they could see themselves in history. You know, when we talk about paths to change, we are helping people to tell their own narrative, their own story, and the collection enables that. So one of the things artists are often told early in their careers is that you have to see the work of the masters. You have to read it, you have to watch it, you have to listen to it, you have to hear it, so that you can find your own voice. That's what we were able to do here at the Schomburg Center. We help people to see, hear, and learn about Black history and culture so they can still find their own voice.